I'm participating in the Read What You Own challenge created by Ollie over at the channel Criminali. And it is my favorite challenge of all. And this is what my challenge um, graph looks like. Yeah, I have a 32 books read with 18 more to go. And I have to say, I didn't think this through. At this stage of the game, I'm a little bit like over this. I not trying to be rude or anything, but I want my freedom back. I don't work from home. I go out there and I work 40 plus hours and I have a house to take care of inside and out. I have animals to take care of. I have weeds to pull, a swimming pool that needs to be vacuumed, groceries that need to be tended to, shopped, purchased, brought home, put away, whatever. Um, so I don't really have the luxury of sitting around and reading, although I wish I did. Maybe someday when I'm older and retired, I will. I'll be able to make some potions and do my garden and read all the books. But right now, at 53 years of age, 50 books pretty much takes me a whole year to read. One year I set a goal for 100 books within that year, doing all of the stuff that I do. And you know what? It was just like one book into the next nonstop, and it was a grueling schedule. And I did not even complete that goal. I only reached 98 books, and you know what? I'm never going to do that again because it was just too much for my lifestyle. So this is the proposition that I made for myself. If by next Sunday, June 25th, I don't have 18 books read, then I'm just going to abandon ship. I'm going to pull the plug on this challenge and just know I gave it my best shot. I really did give it my all. In order for me to get 18 books read and still fall within there's not too many guidelines or rules to doing this challenge, but I'm just going to pull all of the small books, every single novelette or novel or just a little book that I have. I'm going to pull them and hopefully I can get them read by next Sunday. What do you think? Do you think I'm going to be able to do that, meet that challenge? A challenge within a challenge. Oh boy. Anyways, today I would like to talk about the two books that I finished reading. They're both memoirs and they were very both enjoyable. I was feeling like a nosy neighbor. And although I'm not nosy by nature, um, I was nosy enough to want to get the scoop on Mrs. Whitney Houston. So I'm not going to lie. I used Bobby Brown's book, Every Little Step, to get the scoop on Whitney. I love Whitney Houston. I love that she's a strong, independent, funny, humorous, witty woman. Um, Rest her soul. And you know what? Who better to get that info um, about her than from the person that was married to her? So I went over to the Bobby Brown side of town. Indifferent, went into his book Indifferent. You know, I can't really say that I listened to either one of their music. They're not my style of music, but she's definitely my her personality is definitely my type. She knows what she wants and she knows how to get it, and she was just super cool. But anyways, just wanted to know how such a wonderful life and how such a wonderful person could go down the road that she went. And so I wanted to know where she began, and we all know how she ended up. Uh, but what part did Bobby play in that also? So I decided to read his book, and as you know, Bobby reads it perfectly imperfectly. And as we are getting further into the book, I am finding myself to say, Bobby Brown, he was a he was a nice guy. Yes, he took plenty of wrong turns in life. When it comes down to who Bobby is as a person, he's kind, he's caring, he's compassionate, he's feeling, all embracing, encompassing with his love. He is just like, he's a good guy. And you know what? He has skeletons just like we all do, but he doesn't keep his skeletons in the closet. I like him. I like that he was up to no good. He did wrong, but he owned up to it. He wasn't trying to lie about anything. So the book starts when Bobby was young, and he talks about how at a very early age he was the breadwinner for the family. He also talks about how he unknowingly discovered that his mother, haha, was kind of dealing some illegal substances off to the side to make a couple of extra bucks. And he was around at the time when the police came and arrested her. So Bobby's had plenty of trauma in his life. Bobby's overcome it. Bobby has gone to the point where he had so much money he didn't know what to do with it. He would give it away. And then Bobby was at the point where he was living paycheck to paycheck. So, the loss of his ex-wife, the loss of his daughter had to be heartbreaking. I couldn't even imagine his hurt. But it breaks my heart to watch that interview when he's talking about his daughter. Oh, God love him. But yeah, really, he talks about that in the book. He just puts it all out there. And you know what? I just have to say, Bobby Brown, you keep on being Bobby Brown because you are awesome. The second book that I read, Memoir, again, because I am the self proclaimed memoir queen. By the way, my name is Flossie. This is the Grape Jelly Library, and I am so glad you are here. I always look forward to your visit. Mariah Carey's memoir, The Meaning of Mariah. Now, I just have to say, there are plenty of A-lister celebrities out there who don't like Mariah. But you know what? We don't care because we like Mariah. Mariah takes us from her childhood to the point where she is at now in her career. And, I bought this book probably when it first came out. And, every year that passes, and maybe every other month, I say I need to read that Mariah Carey memoir. I think this came out in 2020. We're already 2024, so I don't know. It's a lot. This book has been on my mind, but I've never picked it up off the shelf. And I thought, you know what? The day of reckoning has come. We need to find out about Mariah. I can honestly say this. In reading this book, I had wished that it never ended. I could listen to Mariah for a million years. She's fun, she's witty, she knows how to have a good time. And a lot of people have a problem with her calling other people darling. And you know what? I say, let her call you darling because there's a lot worse that you could be called. And so she wasn't born elite. She didn't come from fame and fortune. She really came from, the bottom. She had to play around garbage as a little girl, the dumpster, stinky, smelly garbage she had to play around. Um, she had to walk down her steps in her house with nails sticking out of the floorboards. I suppose somebody could fix that, but I don't know why they didn't. But anyways, the point she was trying to make is that like they had nothing. They were like nothing. They had a little bit when her mom and dad, who were a biracial couple, were married. They had a little bit of finances, but when they split, I believe Mariah was about 3 when they split. Then she really knew poverty, even though she has all the money that she could ever want, she never forgets where she came from. She didn't lose that little girl inside of her, that little girl that was like broken and traumatized and hurt. Two siblings, a brother who was like less than kind to her, and a sister who was more or less a lady of the streets. And neither one of her siblings tried to shelter her from the seedier parts of life. They basically wanted to grab her by the hand and pull her into that. But luckily, Mariah escaped that. She was given a God given talent. And I am so happy for her that she was able to make something of her life. And you know what? She talks about the relationship that she had with her mother. And I think there's something to be said for that. Unfortunately, with Mariah's situation, she did not get along with her mother. And it wasn't for lack of trying, it was just something that, she had to reckon with and figure out what worked best so that she could have peace and move forward. And, she did what she had to do. And you can't blame a person for the choices that they make if they made an effort in the right direction and it just was going nowhere. So, you know what? I just have to say, I love this book. I love it. I'm going to look at it with fond memories now. I'm so glad that I read it. I finally got to read it, and I have no idea what memoir I'm going to be choosing next. But I have to say, I have been reading like a banshee today, and I have read two books. I've managed to complete two books today, so I'm going to be doing a book review on Fun Home, O Caledonia. What else did I finish? What else did I finish? Geek Love. So stay tuned for those. Until we meet again, know that I love you. Be well, be good, be reading, and may all your dreams come true.